As I look to the horizon, not a cloud, but then stormy weather's go too cold. Seems like it crept up out of nowhere, all around you is not what you foretold. You never see it coming. You see that my mind is too fast for eyes. You're done, but the time is hit you, you're not surprised.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit of a follow-up to yesterday's late-breaking story, but also I want to build on a particular theory that I had going on. And I'm going to try to present some evidence to you in this video, but we'll address the situation, we'll address what has come out, and we'll kind of just go from there. So I don't know exactly how long this is going to be per se, but you know, we'll just do what we can. Hopefully I sound a little bit better than yesterday. Originally, I was going to actually have this video come out yesterday. I was going to record it and everything, but I ended up watching, what did I do yesterday? I ended up watching Memology 101's video. Shouts out to him. I got to talk to him a little bit yesterday. I got to see Argent's video. Shouts out to Argent. I got to watch a little bit of Almighty Tevin's stream, his second stream, I should say, because he wasn't streaming during Phil's 5-hour begathon, because if he had, Phil wouldn't have had as many viewers. Phil had about 2,100 people at peak. If Almighty Tevin was streaming, he probably would have had half that. Let's see, who else did I watch? I think it might have been just them, to be honest with you. I think they're the only people who put videos out, because I don't think Theo's put out a video yet, because I haven't seen it. It hasn't come up in my box yet. Yeah, I guess so. Those are the people that I watched, and I rested up, and I was going to re-record. Like I said, I was going to record another video, and one of you actually, shouts out to you, actually recommended, hey man, just, you know, no hurry, just wait till tomorrow and whatnot, and it'll be all gravy. So I decided to do so, and in doing so, while I was watching Tevin's video, I was kind of taking some mental notes, and yet again, a lot of it still kind of supports my theory, as well as what I was seeing on Twitter and hearing some people go back and forth. With that being said, if you guys want to see my first, if you haven't seen my first video, it's the video previous, prior to this, it goes over what that situation was. Let's talk about this for a minute. Spam, ladies and gentlemen, and you're going to see a lot of that throughout this video. Spam is allegedly what ended up hitting DSP, Darkside Phil, DSP Gaming. That's what actually took his channel down. Spam. This man's been spamming for like 8 or 9 years. And all of a sudden, YouTube hits him now? Okay, so this is how the scenario apparently went down. Phil was reported, DSP Gaming was reported for spamming through Google+. So they suspended his Google+. By proxy, that took down DSP Gaming. Kinda. It didn't actually erase the channel. It didn't terminate the channel, it just hid the channel because there was no Google Plus associated with it. Now, I don't know about any of you guys, I don't even remember back as it pertains to that whole Google Plus nonsense or whatever, but for a lot of people who I were able to speak to yesterday and this morning, and I was asking them about Google Plus and did you guys have any negative effects or whatever, a lot of when YouTube didn't make it a requirement to have Google Plus anymore, for some, I can't speak for everybody as a collective, Google Plus was just disabled for them. Not deleted, but disabled. Okay? It was disabled for them almost automatically across the board, especially if you weren't someone who frequently used it. Now, that right there brings back to a comment where I was talking about yesterday about It's a Gundam. Shouts out to It's a Gundam. And how I didn't get a chance to see his last two videos. And one of you in the comment section had said that there are two different notification options to click on. So I thought about that, and I was like, hey, I appreciate that, thank you. But then I have a backup channel that's actually subbed to DSP Gaming, and DSP had this crazy leak. Well, not a leak, but well, he had a leak. We'll talk about that. But when Phil tried to put all his videos back online, I don't even have the notification bell even turned on, and all that shit flooded my box. So what that must mean is there's some type of and also, as you had said, it depends on how frequently you watch their channel and so on and so forth. Well, you know me, I'm not watching DSP's channel, at least not on that backup channel, very frequent. Especially not recently. The fellows are actually taking care of that now. You guys should check that channel out. Actually, you're gonna find some interesting stuff up there later on. But anyway, I don't watch DSP's channels frequently enough to where I should have gotten flooded like that. It's just a crazy option, and so I'm still firmly standing by what you said as it pertains to the notifications. At the same time, YouTube's just a kind of clusterfuck right now, so who can say either which way? But I did take your advice, and I just clicked on the more, I guess, the much more aggressive option, so I can start making sure I'm catching all of Gundam's videos, because I'm very upset at myself that I missed those last two. With that being said, sorry for that bit of that detour. So Phil was reported for spam. Okay, his Google Plus gets shut down. DSP Gaming goes dark basically, and he can't get access to his channel. This right here essentially leads up to a firestorm that led to that 5-hour situation. It should have been just the pre-stream, which everybody has. Mr. Stubbs has it up. Just about everybody's gone over it. I'll go over it eventually when I get better. And then after that, Phil has about 4 hours, which should have been gameplay. I think it's supposed to be Vampire. Instead, he goes to his actual computer chair, and he does what he usually does in bad situations. Oh, I don't know what to do. Give me money. Oh, I'm gonna, you guys can ask me questions. Give me money. It was basically, it's Axe the King without the PUBG, without the stupid hat, and he was just utterly depressed, allegedly, and desperate. But the problem is I had the chance to watch a little bit of that, and he didn't look nearly as frantic as he did when Twitch was suspended the first or the second time, or when he found out about the tax situation, allegedly, or situations like that. He seemed way more calm than those prior situations, which leads to Almighty Tevin and Argent. So during both of their videos / streams respectively, halfway through, they actually checked and saw that DSP Gaming was back up. Now, a lot of people are saying that, oh, well, DSP knew that the channel was going to go back up. He did. There was an actual tweet, I'm not sure if it was in the last video, I'll try to find it and put it in this video, where Phil had actually said that, oh, his channel will be up either in an hour or so, later on in the day, or, in a couple of days. So Phil already knew what was happening. So he essentially had the pity party for himself out of greed more than anything else, which is what he's good for. Now, that leads into another problem. This goes into the kind of the dishonesty aspect of it. If Phil knew that his channel was going to be taken down and he knew it was going to come back up, I had said that it was possibly a glitch. I threw a couple options out there to you. It could have been possibly a glitch. Could you have gotten something flagged? Whatever the case may be. Then Phil orchestrated all this on purpose to skip the first stream because he didn't want to play. He didn't want to play any games that first stream. He wanted to just have a little begging event, and he needed something to do to kind of set that pace for him. And then when he did his second stream later on that night, it was Street Fighter. Now let's talk about the spam situation for a minute, since I brought up Street Fighter. I didn't actually realize this, but if you guys remember last week when he did Street Fighter 30th anniversary collection, he uploaded something like 100 plus videos. I think they said like on Friday, because you think 2-minute matches, that those 2 or 3 minute matches, and he just kind of flooded his channel with that shit. I didn't realize it was that many, but that's a lot of videos to put up, if not in a single day, certainly within a small amount of time. Because Anniversary Edition came out on Tuesday? That's an insane amount of videos to put up. But then again, would Google really ban you or would they really, attack your Google Plus account for spam? You know what I mean? I want you guys to think about that for a minute. For spam, Phil's been spamming for years and they let it go. What does that hurt them? It doesn't hurt them that, you know, if Phil decides to spam his channel. If I went to DSP Gaming right now and downloaded every video that he had, made a new channel, just a complete throwaway channel, and uploaded that shit for, well, if I had an automatic server, I could actually program it to do it for me. It could probably have it up in about a week. Yeah, 10 days maybe. All right, I don't know. I'd have to crunch some numbers and whatnot, because there's a couple methods of going about doing that. The point is this: I could probably have. It would take a couple of days to get. Well, with my internet, yeah, I could probably have all of Phil's. I could have all of Phil's videos downloaded. Probably. Oh shit. That means I wouldn't go to work. So that means I have to do that like 24. Fuck all that. I'm definitely not doing it. But okay, let's say for example I was on vacation, ladies and gentlemen. If I didn't want to rush it, while still trying to capture his current stuff, I could probably have. I think anybody really could, if you really want to dedicate yourself to us. I'm not doing that. I'm way too lazy. You guys know that. But I'd say in 2 weeks, you could probably have every video Phil has on that archive channel, which is DSP Gaming, plus his current stuff. It'd take you probably at least another 2 weeks to re-upload it, give or take. Some people faster than others. Depends on how much time you want to divide to that shit. I'm just throwing out numbers to you right now. But the point is I could download all of his videos and then upload it to a throwaway channel, and I wouldn't get hit for that. So I'm having a hard, and if Google Plus is not considered an intricate part of YouTube anymore, then why would they hit his Google Plus account to take down DSP Gaming? You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm having a problem with that, but let me continue. So he gets hit with spam, allegedly, and that's why the channel gets taken down. The channel's not taken down, actually, I apologize. The channel's hidden for, I don't know, about a day, not even a day fully, a couple hours, you know, over the span of some hours, 10, 12 hours, I guess, whatever the case may be. And not even 12 hours, because he woke up at, what Phil wake up at 10:30 and whatnot. I think some of the first guy on Kiwi Farms, he realized it around between 8 and probably 10 o'clock. So, and I think he got the channel back by 6, maybe 7. So it was no more than like 9 hours. Let's say 10 hours. So in 10 hours, the channel was down and then it came back up. But do you guys really think this happened over Google Plus? Now, that would in turn fall under one of the options I gave you guys yesterday about there being a glitch in the system that might have done that. And like I said, there were other examples. People had brought that up to me on Twitter, as well as just other people in general, where this might have been a situation. Okay, but in either which way, on what the situation was that caused DSP Gaming to go down, it went down. Phil had his little begathon. I think he got about $1,000. Some people say he got about $2,000. Good for him. That's easily 2 days worth of work, and I use that loosely, work. But But he made about $2,000. He should be good. Then he comes back for Street Fighter, spams a bunch of matches there, and then obviously he'll upload it to DSP Gaming. Now, during that second stream during Street Fighter, well, there were a bit of revelations. And I saw this during Almighty Tevin's stream. And someone on Twitter actually had alerted us about that also. Where when Phil basically did a bulk upload or a bulk re-upload to make all of his videos public, he let out some gems. He let out some videos that people hadn't seen in a very long time. Some old playthroughs that he had privated because he couldn't make money off of it because they were going to get hit or they were going to get flagged. The Q&A videos, those personal Q&A Patreon videos, which, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. No, we'll talk about it now. Why, Phil, once you do the personal Q&A videos, why did you upload them to DSP Gaming? Like, why didn't you delete them, I should say? Why are you still holding on to those things? Yeah, you have it privated, but just go ahead and just delete them. You don't need them. And the person that you sent them to already has them. Well, anyway, those got leaked. I saw that during during Tevin's stream, actually. I didn't get any of them, so I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't get any of them. Kevin and Kenny didn't get... Kenny got 2. Kevin didn't get any. But somebody on Twitter who slid into my DMs was a gangster about it and caught a few of them also and sent them. So we'll see what we'll do with that in the future. More likely that's just going to go on our second channel. But we'll see what we'll do with that. Good looking out to you. You didn't want me to put your name out there, so I won't. But thank you very much for coming through on that. I'm not, and by the way, dude, I'm not mad that you didn't get all of them. If from watching Tevin stream to the time that Phil had privated them, it was only like 10 or 15 minutes. And no one knew. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, Mr. Stuffs, I think he got all of them. You know what I mean? So between Mr. Stuffs, between Snort, I think Argent said in his video that he had a few of them. Tevin says he has 1 or 2. As a collective for the DSP, the detractor community, there's somebody, if not all of us collectively, have all of them. So there you go, and whatnot. So there you go on that one. But the so Q&A videos were released. Old playthroughs that he had privated because he was afraid they were going to get copyright striked came back up, and the infamous incident video. Now, the incident video is basically when he flapped off on pre-stream. That also was released, and that led to Phil's community guideline strike. Now, here's the thing, Phil. Do you still have that? You should have deleted that pre-stream, or you should have edited that part out. Like, why are you still sitting on that? All right, whatever. That was just stupidity on his part. So anyway, that right there also was out there floating, as well as his top racist moments. Which I'll talk about that in just a second. That was flying out there. A bunch of stuff that he obviously wouldn't have wanted to be out there was out there. He ended up catching a community guideline strike, or at least he says he did, on the flapping incident, on Flapgate. Then when somebody in his stream chat was basically like, hey man, what are you gonna do about these racist moments videos or whatever? And so during that 5-hour stream, you see him jumping up back and forth a little bit to try to mute those videos or try to get those videos deleted. You also saw that on his second stream too. So he's in damage control. But the funny thing is, he's in damage control. But the funny thing is he's telling people, like, when the Q&A videos were released, he was like, oh, it's no big deal. They're years old, yada, yada, yada. They can't hurt nobody because if they were made in such a way that if they wanted to make them public later, they could. So who cares? And they're years old. Well, remember the one where the Rich from Review Tech USA video was dropped? He said that was like 2 or 3 years old. Come to find out, it wasn't even a year old. So there you go. So Phil's yet again lying to the cult, telling them everything's okay when there's already a fire. There's a fire up and around them, even though they just kind of got out of the frying pan. Now they just got thrown right back in. You know what I mean? And this time we're gonna make candy bacon out of all of them this time. So as soon as we fry them up real nice in the pan, throw some brown sugar, throw some other sweet stuff on it, and they go right into the oven. We're gonna finish them off there. Oh my god. So Phil, yet again, is full-blown lying and whatnot about the situation at hand and about the circumstances. Another thing that I'd like to point out to you is he basically bared his ass and was like, I really need DSP Gaming. It makes me so much money. I can't go without it. Twitch is just not enough. It's just not enough. Well, Phil, I already knew that. A lot of us already knew that, but you were telling the pig cult that, oh, it's not that much. The money's damn near insignificant. It's not that great. It's not that important. But then you telling them now that, oh, I need it. Which, let's go into another discrepancy that you had brought up, Phil, about how your old playthroughs don't actually make you a lot of money. But you said that, oh, my old playthroughs get a bunch of hits and I still get paid off those things. And now that you're with Curse, why do you have certain videos still privated? Not the Nintendo ones. We understand you can't monetize those. But you got other playthroughs that could still fly out there, and you're not doing it. Why is that? All right. Just want to throw that out there. So he's lying to them about how how sensitive some of the videos that he mass uploaded are. He's lying about the older videos that he's making money off of. He's lied about how much YouTube really brings to him and how valuable it is, even though we all know better. Got people like Eddie B43 who does his research and so on and so forth. He's constantly lied, or he's tried to lie to detractors, but he's constantly lied to his own fan base about his situation. And he was damn near manic as it pertains to the DSP gaming situation before he got some real answers. But then, even then, he starts cracking jokes later on and starts brushing it off like it's no big deal before it was announced that he had received it. Then he gets the community guideline strike, and now he's pissed off all over again. So how important is YouTube to DSP, to Darkside Phil? Now, that's essentially the scenario. There's a few nooks and crannies that I left out of, but that's the basic gist of it. Now, what I want to talk to you guys now about, and this will probably be in closing, is what I'm thinking the situation really was. I'm not going to try to discount the whole... I'm not going to try to discount it because I don't know, to be honest with you. The whole situation with the spamming and all that. It sounds peculiar, to be honest. It sounds peculiar to me, but I can't disprove it, you know what I mean? To be honest, sure, it could have been one... Like I said in the video the day before yesterday, it could be just some random glitch. Sure, no problem. I find it hard. I have some problems. I find it hard to believe because how important is Google Plus if it can take down a big channel like that? You know what I mean? A channel that has over 100,000 subscribers. Google Plus can do that to you? That's insane. But let's go to my previous argument. I stated yesterday, some of you guys might remember, about... I'd say on the 3rd or the 4th, I had checked DSP's channel because I was looking for a particular video and whatnot. And I ended up finding it on Mr. Stuff's channel, but, you know, it is what it is. But I was checking his channel, and I saw that his related channels section had came back up. And I saw, you know, and I'd seen everybody who was up under there. He had, like, Markiplier up there, IGN, a few others. I got screenshots to prove this. So I'm thinking, wait a second. Since when did Phil do that? So then it immediately made me think back to something that Almighty Tevin said in a video that he made a long time ago. I think it's on his archive channel. And so I actually went over there to his channel, and I kind of scrolled through until I found the video. It took a little while, but I found it. And Almighty Tevin was basically like, one of the things that was screwing Phil up back then is that he keeps trying to reset his related channels section because he's tired of detractors coming up on it. Sons of Kojima, you know, guys like that. And he was getting more and more pissed off every time he saw them show up. So he would keep resetting it. But every time you do that, it throws your channel out of the algorithm sequence for a little while. I think Tevin said for about a week or so. It may be a little longer. Until it gets itself reallocated. And Phil would do this over and over again until he just eventually just turned that function off. So after catching that glimpse or catching that clip of what Tevin said, I actually decided to go and check other detractor channels. And Lord have it, you know, praise be Almighty, because Tevin comes through, praise be Almighty, all these different detractor channels that I'm sub to have DSP Gaming in their related channels. I have a few of them there. Now, here's the interesting thing. When, on the 4th, okay, so that was only a couple days ago, because I'm recording this on the 7th, I believe. On the 4th, just about every DSP channel that I am sub to, for the most part, plus or minus two or three channels, had DSP in their related channels. Now, only about a handful of them do. Okay, but they will in a couple of days. Once all this gets kind of squared away with DSP Gaming, it'll all happen. But when Phil's channel was originally taken down yesterday, nobody had DSP Gaming in their related, obviously, because the channel got taken down, or it was muted. But now it's back up, so now certain people have it. Tevin does for sure. Snort does. I think Sons of Kojima. I think the Sons of Kojima have it. I think Dipshit Phil has it on his. I'll have screenshots for you, so you'll get to see it. Not everybody does, at least not yet, but they will, I think, as time goes on. Here's where my theory comes into play. I think Phil tried to change the algorithm for his channel. I think Phil has come to the realization that he needs to reestablish himself on YouTube, and he needs to do it in an effective way to where he can piggyback off the detractors. Now you're probably wondering, what do you mean by piggyback? Well, think about it this way. Let's look at it from DSP's logic. I'm not gonna tell you to embrace the gout. I'll do that for you temporarily. Can't guarantee you I'm gonna be the same pup going in when I come out. The way Phil looks at it is these guys sit there, they take all of my material, they take all of my ingredients to make their art, and look at all the views and everything they get off of it. Okay. Now logically, you would actually be like, well, Phil, all you put up is unedited bullshit, and they take your stuff and they actually make it entertaining because they put effort into it. They put forethought into it. They put heart into it. A lot of us put soul into it. Phil can't do that. Or he certainly won't do it. So there's your sequence. There's your problem. What Phil's looking at it now is similar to when he changed MCNs. I'm going to see if I can try to piggyback views off these other detractors. Now you're probably like, well, he's not going to show up in they're not going to show up in his relateds, at least not right away. So what do you mean? By opening up his related channels and seeing who he was paired off with, which were some pretty big gaming channels, he's going to try to play his mark off that, because that's essentially how the related channel works to an extent. You know what I mean? So he's going to go ahead and have his related channels back up. That puts him back in a sequence with Google and with YouTube, which he's been needing that for a number of years. Well, for the last couple years. And that'll put him on the straight and narrow. Now, this is where the detractors come in. As a detractor, if you're sitting here and you're seeing a Snort video, or you're seeing whatever the case may be, and you're seeing DSP getting humiliated, Phil always says, oh, well, I used to watch the detractor channels, and then I decided to go over to your channel, and I thought you weren't so bad. Now, DSP Gaming is right there in their related channels. Now, you don't even have to try to jump to DSP Gaming. You can just click the link right there, which will take you straight to the channel and whatnot. And I can't remember exactly how that works in the algorithm, but like going through someone's related channels rather than going to their channel directly, there's some type of benefit to doing that. I can't remember what it was. I remember reading about it a while ago. So that's what my basis is. And to see that DSP Gaming showed up under just about every known detractor, for the most part, in such a short amount of time, and that quickly, you know what I mean, is what prompts me to think that Phil must have done something behind the scenes, and he screwed himself up. And that's what actually caused his channel to be hidden or muted or whatever the case may be. And he couldn't figure out how to fix it, so he played off of that, said that his channel was taken down and whatnot. But see, he was smart about it because he waited, and I know this is a reach, and this is a reach. He waited for other people to announce it, then he comes through and says, huh, what happened, guys? I don't know what's going on. And then he played off of that. And like I said, Phil knew that the channel was going to come back. And the thing is I think he played off the pre-stream in his begathon a little too long, because if he was smart, he would have set it up to where he starts the pre-stream, he goes into his little begging rant, what am I going to do? He goes through all of that and then ends it. Ends it promptly, ends it sharp. And then a little while later, DSP Gaming comes back on. But instead, DSP Gaming actually came back online while he was still going through that 5-hour mess, I think, if I remember correctly. So that's what ended up. So I think that's what the scheme was. I think what happened was he was trying to do something behind the scenes to get DSP Gaming back into the search algorithm, and he was going to do it off of the back of detractors. But he ended up doing something wrong to his channel, which caused it to become hidden, and he couldn't figure out what he did, and he couldn't figure out how to fix it. That's my thoughts, though. I can't, like I said, that's just what I'm thinking, because it seems odd that he spent a year, maybe 2 years of not having his related channels back up. Then all of a sudden he decides to activate it again. He shows up under all these detractors, and then the next day, oh, my channel's gone. I don't know what happened. It's too coincidental. Now, like I said, this is just my thoughts. Take it for a grain of salt. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be offended any which way, whether you agree with me or not. But that's what I think happened. And now that also brings me up to date, because when I did my last video, I didn't know that his channel came back up yet, and I was just hearing about what the situation was where it was considered spam. And even then, with the spam situation, I still feel like there's something a bit off about it. You know what I mean? People spam videos all the time, not at the frequency of DSP, you know what I'm saying, granted, but people spam videos a lot, and it doesn't happen, it doesn't go down like this. You know what I mean? If that was the case, if YouTube had like had it in their kind of community guidelines or something on how many videos you can post a day and how long do they have to be to post them or whatever, that'd have been one thing. But I mean, maybe that's a common sense type situation. You know what I mean? So there you go. But the thing is then why let Phil get away with it for so long? People have been complaining about their inboxes, their sub boxes being, you know, flooded by this guy for years. And Google never felt the need to do anything about it then, so why do it now? It just seems a bit off. It seems a bit peculiar, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, guys, there you go. That's kind of, this closes off this arc for the moment. Excuse me. We haven't heard the last of this yet, and with Phil's YouTube channel all discombobulated. Let's talk about that for a minute, and I'll close this up. The way Phil's channel is now, currently, you have stuff from like 2010 being mixed up with his current stuff. Now, supposedly, all of it will eventually, I guess, eventually that stuff's supposed to, you know, kind of work itself out. Some people say it won't. Some people say he'll have to do it manually. YouTube's not going to go in and do that, and for good reason. Who's going to sit there and who's going to sit there and try to fix 5,000 plus videos and put them back in order? That's insane. But because they were all privated and they were in order when he privated them, maybe he can make that work, but maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to kind of just wait and see. Here, I'm gonna switch to that one. I like this one. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if that'll be the case or whatnot. We'll just have to wait and see. But his channel's all over the place. You've got videos, well, at least when I looked yesterday, you had videos from 2014 mixed up with stuff from this year. You had stuff from 2010 mixed up with some crazy stuff from like 2012. It was insane. It was all messed up, and everything's out of order for the most part too. So it was a bit of a mess. Like I said, hopefully some of that gets out. Hopefully some of that stuff becomes gets rearranged back to where it needs to be for his sake. It is what it is. But I don't know if DSP. I'm not really sure if I could say that. Oh, DSP dodged the bullet, because he didn't. He has a community guideline strike, and he has to eat it. You know what I mean? And the thing is Phil has so many videos that people can hit him for that he doesn't know, and that's what Phil's gonna be doing over the next probably couple of weeks. Mark my words, if he's gonna be going, he's gonna have to go back and forth, and he's gonna be scared to death of what videos are going to go out that he may have said something or that people might strike. He's only going to go for the obvious targets. Here's the problem. There are people who have made compilations of stuff, made compilation videos where he said some really heinous stuff. And if they can report it before he catches it, there you go. You know what I mean? There's people on Twitter already talking about, hey, this is what the community guideline situation is. And it's going to be much harder to come back from a community guideline strike over a copyright strike. It's going to be so much harder. So if Phil has any connections at YouTube, I hope he can put them to good use, because if not, he's going to have problems. So, in truth, he may have had his channel back, which, congratulations to him on that. But you've won a skirmish. The battle's still going. The battle ain't over by a long shot, Phil. So, hopefully all those years ago, you could have taken care of that. All those videos that were getting you in trouble, that people were hitting you for, flagging them, this, that, and the third, you should have just deleted them. But you're too greedy. You're too greedy and you were too lazy. You know what I mean? Because people say, why did he hold on to those videos? Because he was hoping to put those videos back up one day. And that means greedy. He's super greedy. Alright, so yeah. So he's super greedy and he's super lazy. So it came back to bite him. And these are the things, Phil, that I try to tell you, that if you took a couple of minutes to actually try to cover your bases, if you took a couple of extra minutes to ingratiate yourself on other people. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when Cryo sent people over to your stream on your birthday, all you had to do was give those people another 45 minutes. You had, what, 1,000 people show up? You know what I'm saying? 2,000 people? I can't remember. You could have shown them a bit of hospitality for another 45 minutes instead of making excuses on why you had to go. Because, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, this is his business. You know what I'm saying? This is your business. You do this for a living. This is the only way you can make money. So, you make sacrifices. You know, pure and simple. But, you know, it is what it is. But Phil never takes the initiative to do anything. He never bothers to plan ahead. He has no money put away. He literally, you know, is hand to mouth. And something that, to close this off, that is probably a bit more disturbing, especially for someone his age, but maybe for anybody, but certainly for somebody his age, is his whole livelihood is dependent on other people. And I'm not even talking about from a YouTube situation or from a Twitch situation where, you know, that's people's generosity, but he's truly dependent on people giving him money on stream. So, like I said, and that's beyond just asking for subs. The tips, the bits, the donations, and all that, he needs that. And if he doesn't get it, he starts to get frantic, and he starts to get manic. And you would think someone like him would be smarter than that. He's been doing this for a long time. You telling me you don't know better? Or you don't know any better, I should say? What's wrong with you, Phil? In any case, that's my wrap up. That's pretty much the end of that. Feeling a little bit better. Hopefully I can put some more videos out for you guys later on. But I guess it should probably be a quality over quantity situation if Phil has taught us anything. And with that being said, given the Street Fighter matches and everything and how Phil's saying it's not my fault, yada, 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 and not taking the advice that not only detractors, but people in his own fan base are telling him, hey man, stop doing these 10, 15-minute videos, go to doing an hour-long video or 2-hour-long videos and put them out twice a day or, you know, 3 times a day maybe. Phil's like, oh, I can't do that because then I'll only make $10. Oh, how much money are you making, Phil, off your little $10 videos? Your little 10-minute videos that people don't even watch all the way through. How much money are you making off that compared to an hour? If they're really your fans, they're really going to watch it. Most people just come into your videos anyway just to see the train wreck or they see the rage and then bounce. And then they wait till Memology 101, Volt Boy, David Davison to do a compilation and then watch the whole thing, you know, kind of be spread out there. But see, Phil's in that is complete and totally in that whole machinima 2010 to 2012 situation where that's how I'm going to make my money. And he's so scared of change that he's going to risk the channel yet again. If it is indeed spam, he's going to risk the channel for shillings. He's not even chasing dollars, you know what I'm saying? Which is why none of this makes sense. This is what he feels is the smart move for him. He would rather chase shillings than go after big money. And yes, it's going to take time for all that to roll over. Don't get me wrong. It'll take time for, you know, the algorithm to work over like that. But eventually it would work in his favor. I mean, let's be honest. His streams are entertaining anyway. Especially during the Street Fighter ones. All he does is sit there and he has a match and then he immediately runs over to his laptop. All right, cut. Okay, restart. Doesn't that get old? Wouldn't you rather have, you know, an hour-long session and then just upload all that instead of each individual match? But what do I know? You know what I'm saying? I don't have a business degree. I haven't been doing that for 10 years or whatever the case may be. I haven't gone bankrupt. I didn't have to. I'm not in any kind of debt, credit card, student loans or whatever, because I actually paid all my shit off. I don't know. I don't know what it's like to be in debt and live in a house that I can't afford or whatever the case may be. So I guess Phil's the better man. Phil knows what the fuck he's doing, so who are we to say anything otherwise? I don't know why I cussed right there because I'm not even that mad. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. I'm your host / anchor GTG. Thank you very much for hearing me out over the last couple days. And like I said, I'm really kind of combobulated. I'm kind of all over with these last 2 videos. My apologies on that. when I get better, hopefully everything's will be better. But thank you yet again for just hearing me out. And I'm signing off. End the broadcast.